more delicious than a Philly cheesesteak on any day of the week, Crevonte. That's one thing we can agree on. It is time for prime time football. And what better way to preview it than with you live here again on the Flex Zone podcast. Only place Crevonte giving you sports and your Washington Commanders coverage how you want it.
When you need it.
We're doing the live variety. Told you we're going to get the content to you with this condensed Week 11 Thursday Night Football. Amazon Prime, Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Richard Sherman, Andrew Whitworth. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick. You got Carissa Thompson, and you got my boy, Ryan, did I say Ryan Fitzpatrick? Yeah, Tony Gonzalez. So the crew there, they'll be covering the game. I'm sure in your local affiliate, locally, if you're in the area. So we'll be talking about it there. I'll go over the history real quick after I get my brother Crevonte's thoughts. Of course, wouldn't be able to do this alone. And what better place and person to have representing the Commanders and saluting the Commanderlorain fans all around. Crevonte's back for another week, another preview, brother. I'm enjoying the ride.
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders.
How you feeling, my brother? It's a tough one on Sunday.
The best thing about this is I don't have time to dwell on it. So the Commanders have a chance to get this sour, nasty taste out their mouth with a game on Thursday. Now, hopefully they can, have a similar performance, just and then end in a different result.
Well, let's look at the quick hitters with the Commanders and Eagles. No strangers to one another. Washington will travel to Philadelphia in Week 11. The all-time series, Washington, is 88-84-5. The Commanders are 43-43-2 on the road, Crevonte, against the Eagles. Last season, the Eagles beat the Commanders in that thrilling 34-31 overtime Week 4 matchup in Philadelphia. And the Commanders have a 5-9 record against the Eagles in prime time. Their most recent primetime matchup, this was the undefeated Eagles team in Week 10 of 2022. I remember we were watching this live, Crevonte. The Commanders at the Washington football team, Commanders defeated the Eagles, handed them their first loss of the season. With the win, the Commanders would move to 8-3, which will be their best record through 11 games since the year 1996. And with the win against the Eagles, the Commanders will start 3-0 against the NFC East. Their best division record since 1991, Crevonte. What do you, when you hear those things, the matchup, just the history, a rivalry? We sometimes overuse it in sports, but it is legit a rivalry, especially in the NFL.
Shoot, some of those numbers I haven't even heard of, or at least haven't heard of in quite some time. Because
research got a pretty good Flex Zone research stats over here.
Oh yeah, for sure. It seems to be pretty even. Given all the history, as of late it's been kind of shaky, but my Commanders are finally turning it around. And of course it's funny because we're playing the Steelers and the Eagles back to back, and in both occasions in 2020 and 2022 we ended their undefeated seasons. So, that's cool. That's cool. That's something I'll always remember because we once wasn't win neither one of them games. But yeah, I don't feel great about this Thursday night matchup just because short week had a bunch of injuries in the Steelers game. And usually on a short week, if Sunday was shaky or you got hurt on Sunday, 9 times out of 10 you probably gonna be out on Thursday. So I think we're probably gonna be pretty short-handed come Thursday.
That's a perfect lead-in to what I wanted to talk about starting off. Let's look at the numbers real quick from a betting perspective. Always got to look at the money, Crevonte. It is a 48.5 over-under. 3.5 point spread. Real quick, your thoughts on that, Crevonte? You think that's a fair number for pretty much 4-point underdogs, 48.5 over under?
That's fair. That's fair. Usually if teams are even, the home team would the home field is kind of worth 2.5, 3 points. So if it's at 3.5, it's like okay. Commanders short week, going on the road, divisional matchup. Eagles look really good. Commanders coming off a crushing loss. Yeah, 3.5 sounds about right.
Let's look at the leaders on the season. Jaden Daniels, 180 of 262, 21-47, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, 164 of 235, 1976, 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I believe the only quarterback in NFL history, 4 or more seasons with 10 or more rushing touchdowns. So Jalen Hurts gets it done with his legs, of course. Jalen Daniels with 85 carries, 464 yards, 4 on the ground. Saquon Barkley, one of the best offseason acquisitions, 171 carries, just short of 1,000 yards, 991, 6 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin just missed a consistent 47 receptions, 711 yards, 6 touchdowns. And A.J. Brown, 28 receptions, 553 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that's after he missed a bunch of games. So he is doing crazy. And they got another good receiver, which I'm sure we'll get into, a good tight end, and, of course, Saquon. Looking at the injury report, Brian Robinson didn't play last week. He's questionable. Marshawn Lattimore, we're waiting to see when he will make his debut. Austin Seibert, the kicker, has been injured as well. Devontae Smith has been dealing with an injury as well with Nakobe Dean, Dallas Goedert. So a lot of injuries on both sides. I know you sent it earlier in the group chat about a lot of the injuries, guys not practicing. I know basically Monday and Tuesday are walkthroughs for these short weeks where you're really not doing anything. From the Commanders' perspective, and what you're saying from the Eagles' perspective, what do you think about the injury report heading into Thursday night football?
Oh, man. I'm not surprised. I'm just pulling it up right here as well, because the list is pretty lengthy. That's the short version that you have right there. But Tyler Biadasz, I see you got Cornelius Lucas up there, Andrew Wiley, Dante Fowler, so Brandon Coleman. A lot of these guys were limited on Monday, Tuesday. Pretty much if you see DNP, I don't have high hopes that they're going to play. And I have a DNP from Marshawn Lattimore and Austin Seibert. Did not practice, did not participate. I don't even know if DNP stands for do not practice or did not participate, whatever. They pretty much didn't do anything. Brian Robinson was limited, which, is moving in a positive direction. Wiley limited, Cornelius Lucas limited, Tyler Badass limited, Brandon Coleman limited. Fowler was he's full. He's gonna play. I'm hoping Brian Robinson plays because we need him, but Wiley and Brandon Coleman and Cornelius Lucas, we got a lot of tackles. That's all our tackles. That's all the tackles. You know what I'm saying? That's our rookie and our vet and another vet. You know what I'm saying? Trent Scott is going to have to play full time at this point, which is terrifying to think about. He kind of held his own against Watt. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Watt recorded any crazy stats.
No tackles.
Right. So Trent Scott looks like we're gonna need him to play right tackle. And I don't know who's playing left tackle. So this is scary moving forward. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, I did see something earlier I did want to talk to you about real quick before we get to your keys. The Washington Commanders are 7-0 against teams under 500, but 0-3 against teams 500 or better. I just saw this up. How you feel about that heading into another matchup on the road, short week, rookie quarterback?
Don't answer that phone, man. It's legitimate. It's absolutely legitimate. Because when we talk about records, we always have to dive a little deeper and see who you played and who's significant and who's not. And just like it says, under 500, undefeated, over 500, winless. You know what I'm saying? And that is a mark of a average team. Just just saying straight up. If the team is better, they're pretty much going to lose. The team is trash, they're going to win. And we have to turn that around. We have to turn that around sooner rather than later. And Thursday could be is going to be a huge test for that. But the Eagles catching us at a really bad time, man. And Marshawn Lattimore not playing, I really don't feel good about this game, along with the other injuries. But the 7-3 record, 0-3 against winning teams is legitimate.
Crevonte, we know a little peek behind the curtain for those who don't know, a little inside baseball. You like to dress like the pros come game day. So if you want to dress like the pros, you want to dress like the Commanderlorain Crevonte, you can rock your all-white Commanders gear under the lights Thursday night. Those are the threads they'll be wearing on Thursday night. Crevonte, I know you like to dress like the pros, so you can plan accordingly. Tell Ms. Hayes, get your outfit out for you. How you feeling about these threads on Thursday night?
Hey man, it's cool. It's cool. Listen, and it's funny because we did not have the best uniforms when we were Redskins. It was like kind of thing, like all right, we'll just rock with it. But whoever has done this rebrand, this whoever's on this marketing team has done an amazing job. And it's funny because Miss Hayes pointed it out to me, and she was like, yo, y'all jersey look really good. Like even the burgundy ones look good. Black on black looks fantastic. That's probably
that black on black.
We love it.
Yeah.
My favorite, my favorite of the jerseys, and the white on white just looks clean, man. Hopefully it's not clean. It's not gonna be clean come Thursday, but it does look really clean, and I like the improvement of our jerseys. Over the past couple years, we're looking more and more like a legit organization, man. I can't stress that enough.
How would you feel about a white helmet? We've seen the Bengals, Packers, some teams. Ravens had like a all purple and yellow goldish helmet. How you like the new, like maybe like a white helmet or something, or are you cool with the like this?
I'm cool with it like this. I mean, let me see it. Let me see what it look like. Because the Bengals one is hard. I ain't gonna hold you. The Bengals look their white on white uniforms look really, really tough. I'm willing to see it. But I'm cool with what I see here. Like we don't need white uniforms, but if you got a rough draft, let me see it.
Well, Crevonte will dress like the pros. You can dress like Crevonte, the #1 Commanderlorain in the community, if you didn't know. Let's get into those keys, Crevonte, keys to the game. And if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Leave us a comment, your keys to the game, and what you're looking forward to seeing on Thursday. Crevonte, what are your keys to the game?
I'm trying to think of what theme I want to use. Let's go inside out. Let's start with the line of scrimmage. For the Commanders offensively, injuries, man. At this point, we got to make it through the game. Wiley's on the injury report. Brandon Coleman's on the injury report, and Cornelius Lucas is on the injury report again. So, those are our tackles. Those are my starting tackles this year, because Brandon Coleman and Cornelius Lucas were doing like 50-50 at left tackle. Andrew Riley was the full-time right tackle, and none of them, I hope they play, but them being on the injury report is very, very concerning. We have to go up against a very speedy pass rush, and Mr. Is it Carter? Carter that's over there on the D
Yeah,
line?
yeah. Carter, Jordan Davis.
Yeah. We got some speed and we got some size to deal with. And injuries, we're gonna have some new guys in there. That's very, very, very concerning. So number one is always protect Jaden Daniels. Find a way to protect Jaden Daniels. The best way to do that is for us to get that running game kick-started. And with Brian Robinson, he's limited, then that's an improvement. So that will help because the offensive line that's kind of shaky, we don't want them pass blocking a lot. We want to get mixing some run and pass like that. That's one of my consistent keys is being able to be balanced on the pass and the run, and most importantly, being effective on the run to help out with the pass. Because on the offensive line, we're going to need it. Let's see, running back by committee. Austin Eckler had a huge game against the Steelers. If Brian Robinson could come back, that'll be amazing. And last key offensively, well, not the last key, but another key offensively, the wide receivers have to play better, man. We had a whole bunch of drops. Those catches have to be made to sustain drives and for us to hold the ball a little bit longer because we're going to need the ball in order to score. And to the quarterback, the Steelers held Jaden Daniels to his lowest performance. I mean, his lowest percentage performance at 50%. So, 50% is not terrible, especially given that was an elite defense and he is a rookie. But if those catches happen, his percentage would have been way better because it was at least 5, 6 drops. And I'm like, well, you're not gonna win with that. So those are my I think I want to call them inside out keys. So let's flip. So we'll flip to the defense. Whoever is matched up with AJ Brown, I think Byron, we need to bow our heads and let us pray. Because if Lattimore don't play, which is looking like he's not, we are in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. My secondary is not good, and it is the weakest part of our not just defense. I think it's the weakest part of our team. So I don't even know what we could do about that. Contain AJ Brown, I guess. But I just want to throw it out there because that's the glaring one. Now, if we stick to the inside out method, defensive line has been playing better. They've been playing hard. They've been playing really tough. We got to make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable. Got to make him uncomfortable. Keeping him in the pocket and limiting his rushing attempts because he can still get out there and run a little bit too. One thing I like about the Steelers is that the Steelers were very disciplined in their rush lanes. So, and you could tell, and it showed up in the stat sheet because Jaden Daniels only ran for 5-6 yards the whole game. The Steelers are very, very disciplined with rushing. We are going to have to take a page out of their book so we can be able to keep contain of Jalen Hurts. Next, linebacking core. I really love our linebacking core. I love Bobby Wagner, love Louisville. I'm pretty cool with how they play. They play tough. They come to play pretty much all the time. So not much there. Well, sorry, I'm tripping. As a linebacking core, collectively, Saquon Barkley. That's y'all two, Saquon Barkley. I don't care. I don't know whose assignment or if it's going to be Lou's assignment solely or Wagner's assignment solely or if they're going to mix it up a little bit. I guess depending on what side, if you're on the strong side or the weak side. But you two, Saquon Barkley. That is it. That is all. Saquon Barkley. Y'all deal with him because he hurling people backwards, man. It's hurling people backwards is crazy. So we don't want that to happen to us. We have to find a way to contain Saquon Barkley. And the secondary, like I said, Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, they are going to be problems for us. I can't sleep, so I can't imagine what Joe Witt Jr. is going through or Dan Quinn is going through, because y'all for those that's been watching football, especially as of late, what AJ Brown has been doing to the Commanders single-handedly is criminal. It's absolutely criminal. He should be arrested for the things that he's been doing to us, but it has to stop. Then the only way for it to stop is we gotta get in his face and let him know we here. But if Marshawn Lattimore's not on that field, I'm concerned, absolutely concerned. So find a way to contain from the linebacking core, find a way to contain Saquon Barkley as a defensive line, find a way to contain Jalen Hurts, and as a secondary, we just gonna pray. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pray because they got Devontae Smith as well. So there's that. Mikey Sanford has been playing pretty well on the outside, even though he started the season as a nickel. But with how bad St. Juice is, I'm sure he'll see more time on the outside. And that's our rookie from Michigan, who's been playing lights out right now. But yeah. And one last key, if I could go right back to the offense. They got some young guys out there on the outside at corner. Kenyon Mitchell, we talked about him in the draft, and our draft profiles. Loved him. I thought he was the best corner to come out of this draft class, and he is not disappointing. Gotta find a way to exploit the secondary in the passing game. But I know it's a bunch of stuff me talking. I really ain't pinpoint, with bullet points, but I just want to talk about the inside out keys offensively and defensively, starting from the offensive line or defensive line and working my way out.
Well, as you can see, Dante Fowler, most sacks or tied for the most sacks in the NFL since week 5 with 8. Jeremy Chin, 12 tackles, 1 interception. Fumble recovery last week against the Steelers. The possibility potentially of Marshawn Lattimore soon, if not this week, definitely maybe after the mini bye. The linebacking core, Luvu, you still got Daron Payne up there. How do you feel about the potential of this defense? Obviously, I believe you guys are tied for most points in the NFL, I think with the Ravens, ironically. But how do you feel about the defense, the potential? Because I think, like we said with the Ravens, it's probably going to come down to the defense. Can you get that key stop? Can you get that takeaway? Can you get pressure on the quarterback, et cetera, et cetera?
Listen, man, Joe Witt Jr. is going to have his hands full with this offense because they're stacked. And we said it before, the Philadelphia Eagles roster is stacked. They got guys everywhere. They even got even like I was talking before, their corners are playing really well. But defensively, I really like, even though he had a rookie moment and it cost us a chance to getting the ball back, I love Johnny Newton, Daron Payne, Mathis, Dorrance Armstrong. Them boys are really playing some good football up front for the defense. And I love the energy that Luvu brings to the entire defense because he's a maniac. He's really a maniac out there. And of course, Bobby Wagner is as solid as they come. Probably one of the smartest brothers on the defense. So I love those guys up front, and I love Mikey from Michigan, who's getting some play on the outside and the inside, basically wherever we need him, because he's filling in very, very nicely. Secondary is what I'm concerned about, man. And when in doubt, I feel like even if we bring a blitz, you're gonna throw it to AJ Brown because AJ Brown's gonna do something crazy and he's gonna come down with the ball. And it's not even gonna be a 50-50 ball. It's gonna probably be like a 70-30 ball at best for us. So Joe Witt Jr. is going to have his hands full, trying to make Jalen Hurts a little uncomfortable and call some timely blitzes. And I mean, Saquon Barkley, we got to stop the run first, obviously. As a defense, we got to stop the run. And that's not on the secondary, that's on the front 7-6, because our base defense is the nickel. So whoever's that big corner, whoever's that nickel, is going to have to be heavily involved in the running game because we are going to need it. Stopping the run is important. I feel like that's every defensive coordinator's number one. Stop the run. Got to stop the run. Saquon Barkley, got to stop him, because if you can't stop him, it's going to be a long day for this defense, and they're going to be on the field 30 minutes, 30, 35, 45 minutes. And then that's a recipe for a losing result.
Let's go to the offense real quick. Jaden Daniels has pretty much played 10 games, so he has pretty much went through more than half of the season. And really offensively, we know Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson. How about Terry McLaurin, third in the NFL in receiving yards behind Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? We know that's elite company. What do you think this offense needs to do to evolve? We know about Jaden. We know about the running game when you got Brian Robinson healthy, of course, with Austin Eckler, who's having a wonderful year out of the backfield, and then Scary Terry on the outside. Zach Ertz even making some plays. Noah Brown, maybe Jamison Crowder coming back at some point. We know he's been banged up. He's kind of a hurt guy, but if he's on the field, he's electric. Crevonte, he's one of those shifty guys who can get open, especially on third down for a young quarterback. What do you think about this potential of this offense as they evolve with now heading into week 11?
I love where the offense is going. We're going in a positive direction. Like you said, we're top 3, I believe, offensively. We're behind the Ravens, and we put up 27 against the Steelers, so I'm sure we're still up there near the top. I like the development of Jaden Daniels. I can't stress that enough. I love the play calling from Kingsbury, and I love the effort that we're getting offensively. The offensive line, when healthy, and I can't stress that enough, when healthy, when our original 5/6 guys are ready to go, they look like they're getting some good chemistry together, some really, really good chemistry. And I love the interior of my offensive line. We got a guy at center, Tyler Biotish, I would say call him Tyler Badass, and at our guard, Sam Cosme, who has the potential to be an all-pro. And Nick Allegretti is the left guard. We're really good. Like, they love running the football. From that interior, they really love running that football. And that's important for a young quarterback development as well. So as an offensive line, that's what you need. That offensive line has to be tight, has to be a cohesive unit, and build a lot of chemistry, because you're going to need that as the year goes on, and it helps you build your identity as well. Again, can't stress Jaden Daniels' development enough. His guy is Terry McLaurin. And McLaurin, I haven't seen his brother smile so much ever, probably since he was at Ohio State. I love the chemistry that they're building as a quarterback, wide receiver, tandem duo. It's clicking. It's starting to click. Jaden Daniels, he's throwing the ball before Terry McLaurin getting out of his cut. You know what I'm saying? That's really good that they're developing so quickly. Zach Ertz is a great security blanket for Jaden Daniels. And we just need one more person to step up. Noah Brown, if he can stay healthy, he could be that guy. You sprinkle in Luke McCaffrey a little bit. And it's really good. I love where they're going. And of course, Austin Eckler is playing amazing football as a in the passing game and the run game as a, change of pace back. So we have options. We have options. We have weapons, which is important for the development of a young quarterback. And he's taking advantage of everything. And most importantly, he's not turning the ball over. Oh, cool. That's a key. I think that goes without saying as a key. Let's keep the turnovers low. Keep the turnovers to a minimum. And of course, they got to stay behind. They got to stay in front of the sticks. Have to stay in front of the sticks. This is still a young quarterback, and third and long, second and long, you put him in a position where it's almost like, all right, we know what we're going to tee off on him. And I don't like that for my quarterback, and I don't like that for my offense because those are drive killers, whether it's a negative play or whether it's a penalty. It's drive killers. So keeping those to a minimum will greatly help because, listen, we're going to need the ball. We're going to have to have long, sustaining drives and try to keep Jalen Hurts and their offense on the sidelines. And we have to put points on the board.
Crevonte, we always love to talk about the third phase that a lot of times people forget about. Special teams. We talked about it in the preview last week. It reared its head in the game against the Steelers. We talked about it in the post game. Let's talk about it this week because you deal with another good special teams group. Jake Elliott is a good kicker. Cooper DeJean, the rookie corner, is a good punt returner. One of those young corners with Quinyon Mitchell and Darius Slay in the secondary. Can't forget about him. So last week we saw the fake punt. I'm sure Dan Quinn has been getting with his special teams guys to make sure they're aware of these things. What are you looking from a special teams aspect? Treshway, our guy, he's consistent. Siebert is banged up. Zane Gonzalez has done well, though, to fill in.
He's okay.
Special teams,
okay.
What do you think?
He's okay. For him to come in like that and be able to kick 100%, that's all we can ask for. Absolutely all we can ask for. We can't have special teams be the reason why we lose. It's bad enough that the team that we're playing against has a better roster. And more experience at the quarterback position, more experience pretty much everywhere. Except for probably not linebacker, but this team the roster is already better than ours, so we can't give them any more ammo, no more ammunition. Turnovers like the muff punts, the fumbles cannot happen. If it's slippery, I know it started raining towards the end of the game last week, but those things cannot happen. Absolutely cannot happen. We need positive yards in the punt game. We need positive yards on the kickoff, but no fumbles, no muffs. Cannot give them the ball on the short field because if we do, you might as well chalk it up to points because you put our defense in a rough position and trying to get a stop, and you give them the ball at 25, you giving up at least 3 pretty much. So special teams, if we can steal a possession, if we can find a way on the reverse, if we can find a way to steal a possession or maybe get a touchdown, get a score on special teams, that'll be beneficial to us, and we are going to absolutely need it. So if we get a stop, we'll get an extra possession or get a score on special teams, that would be amazing.
And I don't know if you know, standout left tackle, Jordan Mailata is expected to return and start against the Commanders on Thursday Night Football. Missed the last 4 weeks with a hamstring injury, so he will be another obstacle for your defensive line and pass rushers to overcome. Crevonte, one of the best in the league, and they have a really good offensive line in general. So
right. The Eagles typically do. They're typically stout. At least the 3 of their guys are probably like Pro Bowl caliber players, whether it's the center or tackles. You know what I'm saying? So that's not surprising, which is also why they're usually tops in their rushing attack for the season. So that makes sense. But yes, another hurdle for my defense.
All right, Crevonte, the people have been waiting. What is your prediction? And if you want to give a score and maybe still look forward to on Thursday night, on Amazon.
Listen, man, it's gonna be a lot of prayers. Gonna be a lot of prayers going into this game. Divisional game, short week. Philadelphia. I'd rather not give a I'd rather not give a prediction. But you know, I will. I'll say the Eagles by a touchdown. Something like a 34-27 type of game, and we lose on a one possession touchdown, because somehow, some way, no matter how good the team looks, the Commanders, whether they're the Commanders, Redskins, or football team, they always play the Eagles tough, which is great. So in this situation, I think we probably lose by a touchdown. So I'll say 34-27.
I'm thinking 27-23. I think that would hit the over, maybe a push. I don't know. I think Eagles win slightly, but I think you guys can get them back. I know I'm looking at the schedule right now. We can kind of segue to that. I think you guys split with the Eagles inevitably. I think if you guys win on Thursday, I think they may take it from you guys at Northwest Stadium in Landover. Or if you guys lose on Thursday, I don't think all hope is lost, because Crevonte, I think while we think the Eagles will win, it wouldn't shock us if the Commanders win, but at Eagles, but then you get the reeling Cowboys, Dak Prescott out for the year. You'll probably see Trey Lance by that time. The Titans, who have a decent defense, but the quarterback is Mason Rudolph or Will Levis. I think you guys will be able to beat them. Then you go to the Saints. Yeah, they got a new coach, but will it be 1-2-3 Cancun by that time? Will they be, 3-8, 3-9? Then you get the Eagles again. Then you get the Falcons. You know the Falcons going to Falcon. Anything can happen there. That's a home game. And then you get the Cowboys at the end of the season, Crevonte. So you're going to get a chance to get – I know you said 11 or 12 wins. I think before the season we all agreed over the 8. So
definitely. No, you're right. All hope is not lost. I'd hate to drop to the Steelers and the Eagles like that, but all hope will not be lost, and we'll get a mini bye to hopefully get healthy and rest up. Because we'll have the Cowboys, the Saints, Titans. I think 11 wins is a good number to reach. And I do think we'll split with the Eagles. This is not a great week for us. So if we somehow win this game, I think it'll be a miracle. But I do think we'll split, because by that time, defense will be playing better. Marshawn Lattimore will be in the game, and yeah, I think as a team, everything will be better. But they catching us at a weird time right now, so it is what it is. But 11 wins is in sight, and I think we will split with the Eagles one way or another.
I can see 12, Crevonte, maybe 12. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe
what happens. Austin Eckler averaged 5.6 yards a carry, 11.3 per reception, both career highs. So big shout out to Austin Eckler. Wanted to throw that nugget in on you, Crevonte, before we get ready to get out of here. And Crevonte, we will be live on Thursday night after the Commanders and Eagles. Washington Commanders post-game show, my guy. How you feeling Thursday night? Are you going to be going out and about amongst the people? Are you going to be in the house? What are your plans for the game?
Man, it's getting a little chilly outside, man. I don't know if you've been outside today, man. It's a little on the cold side. And I think the weather has officially shifted. I don't think we're having any more 70-degree, 75-degree days. So, man, I'm in the house, man. I don't know what happened. Okay, my schedule's a little different, but I should be able to catch all of the game. And for me and you, it's best for us to go ahead hit the ground running as soon as it's over, no matter how much it hurts or how happy it is. We'll get to it immediately after the game.
Yes, we will be doing this for the rest of the season. Previews and post-game shows. Not sure if they'll all be, the previews may not all be live, but the post-game shows will all be most likely live, more than likely. But we'll play it by ear. Thankfully, this week. Another free week of just Commanders as they play on a day where no one else plays like the Ravens. So no scheduling conflict there. And Crevonte, Thursday night, the world will be watching, and I'm sure it'll be a fun time. And a Commanders game means something in November, heading into the Thanksgiving season, holiday season, and you can really see the playoffs in your future potential.
Absolutely. Usually by this time I'm like, man, I'm looking at the draft order like, yo, who's coming out this year, man? But I do not feel like that. I think we are going to be picking in the back end of the draft. So I will talk about the draft in January with this team. So it feels good. Thanksgiving and Christmas, in both holidays we will be playing meaningful games, and it is a beautiful thing.
Always a pleasure to do it with you, my guy. Any final thoughts for the people before we get out of here? We broke it all down and see how it plays out on Thursday.
Indeed, man. I just hoping for a competitive game, and I hope somehow we could be able to contain that crazy offense. I think the Commanders will find a way to score. It's just stopping the Eagles. That's the tallest order.
Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Leave us a thumbs up. It helps us out tremendously in the YouTube algorithm. And it costs you nothing in a world where everything is so expensive. It's free. It helps us out tremendous. Like going to the bar, going out to eat, tipping your server, tipping your bartender. Helps us out. Sound off in the comment section after the stream if you're watching this after the fact. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on the game, any other game coming up this week. As always, subscribe if you're new. FlexZone1 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. FlexZone Podcast on TikTok, FlexZone1@gmail.com. Want to be part of the experience. And as always, you can super chat us and the FlexZone1 Cash App. Only place Give Me Sports how you want it, and Commanders coverage how you want it, when you need it. What, Crevonte?
When you need it.
Always do it, my brother, with you, the Commanderlorain. I salute you, and we'll do it again Thursday night, Commanders Eagles post-game show right here on the Flex Zone Podcast. But Crevonte, Commanderlorain, senior producer and co-founder, God's favorite host, signing off, host of the most. Roll your ones up and acknowledge us. We'll see you for the post-game show and live tomorrow for AEW Dynamite as well. Stay tuned to the channel for more content also. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.
Peace.